Hello and welcome. I'm so happy that you have shown interest in my masterclass, How to Optimize Your Fertility. So today I'm going to go through this masterclass and I'm recording to send this along to you today. And I hope this is going to give you some insights and some context as to maybe what's been sabotaging your efforts to conceive, even doing all the things that you've probably been trying. And I'm just very happy that you want to get this information. So let me share my screen and we're going to go right to my slides. All right, hold on one moment. Okay, so you're gonna see my picture disappear only while I'm doing the slides. All right. So, like I said, this is Optimize Your Fertility, learning what's sabotaging your efforts to conceive that your doctor isn't telling you. All right, so let me introduce myself to those of you who don't know me. My name is Giselle Bridges, and I'm a certified holistic health coach and environmental health expert and the founder of the Fertility Lifestyle Method. And over the last 8 or 10 years, I've worn a lot of hats, including being a personal trainer and fitness instructor, a Reiki energy healer, an essential oil educator, and a mom to 3 incredible, fabulous humans. And I'm using all of my life experience and training in nutrition, environmental and women's health to help close the gap in women's reproductive health care and support women, just like you, into taking an active role in their health and fertility. And my mission with this masterclass is to help you take charge of your fertility by exposing what might be sabotaging your efforts to get pregnant and stay pregnant. All right, so by the end of this training, you'll know how to shift away from feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, and not knowing how to improve your fertility to feeling empowered and confident that you can take steps to optimize your fertility on your own. And it's important to me that you're learning from a professional with expertise in women's reproductive health who has a method to help you maximize your efforts to conceive. And I have personal experience and insight on how heartbreaking and isolating this infertility journey can be through the eyes of my own precious daughter who's been on her fertility journey for over 9 years. So I really get it. I get the emotional roller coaster and all the feelings that you're feeling. And I'm 100% committed to help women focus on lifestyle changes that will improve their health and maximize their efforts to conceive either naturally or if you're already seeing a fertility specialist and using reproductive technology. And during this masterclass, I'm happy to answer your questions as best I can. So just know that I'm here to support you. And at the end of this masterclass, I'm going to let you know how we can connect privately to chat. So I'm going to assume that you're here with me today because you're frustrated that what you're doing isn't working, or maybe you're tired of trying to figure things out on your own because no one on your healthcare team is giving you guidance as to what you can be doing to maximize your efforts. And you want to know what else you could be doing. This is exactly why I created this masterclass for you. And I'll share some common misconceptions around fertility and how you can take control and be more proactive in your journey. All right, and I have a special bonus for staying through till the end with my preconception supplement guide. All right, so let's get started with some common things that you might be trying or wondering why they haven't helped you to get pregnant and stay pregnant. I'm going to assume that you've been to your OBGYN because you haven't been able to get pregnant. It's taking you maybe longer than you anticipated, which obviously is the first place to start, right? You were hoping for some explanation as to why it's taking you so long to get pregnant. But after some initial lab work, maybe you've had an ultrasound and some other tests to rule out any physical and structural reasons, you may have been told to just keep trying and come back in a year. Or if you've consulted with a fertility specialist and again, ruling out, obvious causes for your infertility, he or she might have recommended IUI or IVF as your best option, but didn't give you any recommendations on how you could improve your odds for success. So not only is this not helpful, but you're wasting precious time because you haven't been taught what you could be doing to optimize the health of your eggs and your partner's sperm, if you have one, and what you can do to prepare your body to stack the odds in your favor for a successful pregnancy. Now, listen, I want to be really clear from the start that I am not bashing doctors. It's not that they're withholding information from you. It's just that nutrition and lifestyle modification isn't their wheelhouse. And they have different skills, and they're just not trained in environmental health and issues that are linked to infertility. That's the gap in women healthcare that's not helping women take control of their health and fertility. And I believe there needs to be more collaboration between holistic healthcare practitioners who teach about lifestyle and conventional medicine. Okay, so the real reasons why what you're doing isn't working. I'm sure that most of you have been staying up late at night, spending countless hours searching the internet, hoping to find the magic solution that's going to help you get pregnant. Is that something you've been doing? And also, it's overwhelming, time consuming as you try to sift through all that confusing information on the internet. And instead, you could be working with a healthcare practitioner who's part of your healthcare team and can give you a clear step-by-step plan of action to follow that takes out all the guesswork for you. So it's a common practice to want to try to boost your fertility with nutritional supplements. And obviously that is a good thing to do. I'm sure you've been encouraged to take a prenatal vitamin by your professional provider, but you might have been unsure of exactly which one to take. And you might have ordered some additional random vitamins that you read might help you to help boost your fertility online. But here's the thing I want you to know. Quality is very important when it comes to taking a prenatal or any vitamin supplement. And before taking a bunch of other random supplements that you read on the internet, it's really best to address your overall diet first. That's, where the first focus should be. Supplements are intended to just fill the gaps. So your diet should be the foundation to create healthy eggs and prepare your body and your uterus to sustain a pregnancy. And then you can be more strategic depending on your individual needs, and maybe you have some testing done so that you can take some additional vitamin supplements just to optimize your nutrition and round things out, like I said, because it takes a lot of nutrition to prepare your body for pregnancy. And then if you have irregular cycles, you might have been given a diagnosis of PCOS, or your doctor considers that maybe your weight has something to do with your infertility. And he or she may have suggested that you try losing some weight, but gave you no guidance onto how to support weight loss in a sustainable, healthy way. And the problem is many common diets are focused on short-term results, and they include really restrictive ways of eating. When you're trying to get pregnant, you need a plan that's going to give you the results you want, but you also need to optimize your health for your fertility along the way. And so if you're only counting and restricting calories, this does nothing to balance your blood sugar and create a healthy metabolism. And food restriction diets just deplete you of the vital nutrients that you need most at this time, when you should be focusing on the quality of the food that you're eating instead. And, if you're thinking that killing yourself at the gym is going to help burn calories and help you lose weight and get healthier, that really isn't the answer either, especially right now, because over-exercising or intense workouts just cause more stress hormones to be released in your body, which throws your body into a survival mode. So if you're already feeling stressed, then, intense exercise is just going to exacerbate that. And basically, it's telling your body that it's not a good time to make a baby. So we want to reduce our stress, and that includes physical stress from intense exercise. And then lastly, maybe you're stuck in overwhelm and convinced that there's nothing that you can do on your own and everything is just out of your control, and you might as well just throw up your hands and do nothing. And, this is that gap in women's health care and traditional fertility treatments that doesn't include key lifestyle strategies that research has proven leads to greater success for pregnancy and also lowers the risk of early miscarriage. And the clear majority of women that I've spoken with who have consulted with their OBGYN or a fertility specialist have never received information on what they could be doing on their own to help improve their fertility, which just leads to disempowering women to have nothing, else but to just follow their doctor's lead and a medical model that doesn't support women to be proactive in their own health care. So, there's a lot that we can be doing with lifestyle and nutrition that helps to improve not only your own health, but also your fertility and reproductive health. But I understand that it can be super overwhelming to just know where to even start. So instead, we should be focusing on the root cause, because a woman's body that is stressed, not receiving optimal nutrition, and overburdened with toxins is not able to support a healthy pregnancy. And so that's something that I really want you to think about. Infertility is really complex, but there really are three key principles that are known to impact reproductive health. Nutrition, stress, and toxic burden should all be addressed in a proactive preconception plan. But unfortunately, as I've said, the vast majority of doctors aren't discussing any of these issues with their patients. So, taking a bunch of random supplements, skipping meals, restricting calories, trying to lose weight, depriving yourself of the foods that you enjoy just isn't sustainable, doesn't give your body what it needs to achieve pregnancy and grow a baby. And secondly, if you've turned your life upside down, trying to do all the things that you've read about on the internet, the additional worry and stress has probably put your body into a state of survival mode. And unfortunately, like I said, your body is always going to prioritize survival over reproduction and makes it much more difficult to get pregnant. So let me say this again, your body will always prioritize survival over reproduction. And third, if you're taking in more toxins each day than your body can eliminate, this increased toxic burden throws your hormones, into a state of chaos, which negatively impacts your fertility, your weight, your sleep, your moods, and basically your body's just not functioning as it's supposed to. And unfortunately, your fertility just takes a really big hit. So, okay, let's talk about what's keeping you from taking charge of your own fertility. Women tell me things all the time that end up being sort of blocks that they just can't seem to work through. One of them is, I don't like to cook. And, many women are, so busy, they're thinking, gosh, when do I have hours to spend in the kitchen, in order to eat better? And do I have to give up all my favorite foods? And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to. It is possible to make simple meals that you'll still love and will boost your fertility by focusing on the quality and nutrient value of what you're eating. So you can still eat your favorite foods that you love, just learn how to make healthier versions of them. And then you may have said, I've already tried all the things, and that may be true. You may have tried acupuncture and, you're taking your supplements and you're trying to incorporate healthier foods, and maybe you're seeing a chiropractor or a massage therapist, but you still feel overwhelmed. And it was all really tough to stick with doing it and continuing to do it month after month. And I get that, which is why it's so important to have support and a plan so you can take small steps that build on each other and are sustainable over time and actually fit into your daily life without feeling more stress and overwhelm. So, if you're thinking, I'm so busy, there's no way I can add anything else into my day to take better care of myself. I know many women feel this way. The self-care just goes out the window because you're working long hours and you're busting your butt trying to keep, take care of all the household chores and shopping. And then you want to spend some quality time with your spouse or your partner, and you just feel like you're stretched to the max. There's just no time to do one more thing. That's why knowing what to prioritize that will make a real difference in your health, and then making those changes fit into your busy lifestyle, is really key. And then, unfortunately, too often, I'm hearing that, women's health insurance doesn't cover all of their fertility treatments, and they feel like they can't afford to do anything else to invest in their own health. And I get that. You may have maxed out your credit cards on fertility treatments, or if you do have insurance, you still have copays and deductibles that are adding up. Not to mention the reality that it can often take multiple attempts if you're using assisted reproductive technology. So then, you're facing all those potential ongoing expenses. So that's why learning how to prepare your body to improve your odds can save you time, money, anxiety, and potentially reduce the number of fertility treatments that you're going to need. And so the takeaway here is that all of these beliefs are keeping you stuck in overwhelm and dependent on a medical community to fix your problem instead of taking an active role in improving your health and fertility on your own. So I'm sure you can relate to probably some, if not all of these. So the reason that you showed up today in this masterclass is because you want to get pregnant and carry a baby full term and experience the joy of a healthy pregnancy and a baby. And here's what I've discovered that can help you achieve that dream. During my time learning about the different struggles that couples are facing when trying to conceive, I've witnessed the gap in reproductive health care over and over again that leaves them feeling unsupported and isolated. And too many women are overwhelmed and stressed emotionally, physically, financially, and have no idea what they could be doing to improve their fertility on their own. Maybe this is a way that you're feeling too. And so the answer isn't to just keep doing what isn't working, but address the root causes that are sabotaging your efforts to conceive, which you probably won't hear about from your current healthcare providers. Again, I'm not bashing your doctors, but our healthcare system just isn't good at empowering people to take action to improve their health and guide them how. Okay, so there are 3 key roadblocks that might be sabotaging your efforts to conceive. The first one is chronic stress. Now, chronic stress, we all have it, right? But it is not your friend, especially when you're trying to conceive. And here's a list of symptoms that you may have noticed when you've been stressed for a long time. Poor sleep, mood swings, digestive issues, fatigue, hormonal imbalance, and you're feeling anxious or depressed because you can't conceive, or maybe you've suffered from pregnancy loss. So the function of stress is to put our nervous system into a state of arousal, alertness, and even aggression so we can fight, right, or flee from danger. The problem with stress is that your body is always going to prioritize survival over other bodily functions, including reproduction. So basically, if you're trying to conceive, these stress hormones are telling your body that it's not a safe time for you to have a baby. But then other things are happening behind the scenes that you're not aware of. So your stress hormones, when you're stressed, actually use up the raw materials that you need to make your sex hormones. So here's an example. The hormone progesterone is needed to prepare the lining of the uterus to accept a fertilized egg. But if you're stressed, your body steals the raw ingredients needed to make progesterone and makes cortisol and all the other stress hormones instead. So then when a fertilized egg comes along and is looking for that nice, comfy, secure place in the uterus that it needs to implant, it doesn't find a place. And so there goes another month that you don't conceive and you have your period instead. And then the other thing about progesterone is it's needed during the first trimester of pregnancy to maintain the lining of the uterus until the placenta takes over. And so again, if your stress hormones are stealing the raw ingredients, you can't make enough progesterone, and then your risk for early miscarriage really increases. So you can see why reducing and managing your stress is super important. And one way that you can improve your chance to conceive by addressing the root cause that your doctor might be telling you about is to learn how to reduce and manage your stress. All right. So another big thing that can be a roadblock that's sabotaging your ability to conceive is suboptimal nutrition. So eating a nutritious diet is the one most powerful thing that you can do to prepare your body for conception and grow a new little human. There are numerous studies that a healthy diet lowers the risk of recurrent miscarriage and supports a healthy pregnancy and baby. And so obviously getting enough nutrition is needed not only for your own health, but it's also needed for healthy DNA expression in your eggs and your partner's sperm, again, if you have a partner. So we also need to give our body the nutrients that it needs to support balanced hormones. It takes a lot of nutrients and antioxidants and healthy fats to really have those sex hormones functioning like they're supposed to. And then the other thing is it assists our organs of elimination to remove waste and toxins from our body. So here's the thing that most people don't realize. They want to just do a cleanse or a detox, but our bodies are supposed to naturally detoxify all the time. And in order to do that, they need a certain level of nutrients. So being able to naturally detoxify before you get pregnant is not only going to help improve your own health, but also the health of your eggs and your partner's sperm, if he's on the same diet that you are. And I don't mean diet by like restriction, I mean like healthy eating plan. And while your doctor may advise you to take a prenatal vitamin, he or she's probably not sitting down with you to assess your overall diet and give you recommendations on the best foods to eat for fertility and pregnancy. And then lastly, I'm pretty sure your doctor won't be discussing how environmental toxins that you're exposed to in your everyday life are harming your health and fertility. And I'm not talking about industrial chemical exposures, although these can and do happen. I'm referring to chemicals that are all around us in the air we breathe, the foods we eat, in our cleaning and personal care products that we are unintentionally bringing into our homes every day. And many of these toxicants are linked to infertility because many of them disrupt normal hormone balance, and then others are linked to reduced sperm counts, which, by the way, have dropped 50% in the last 40 years. So chromosomal abnormalities to eggs and sperm is the #1 cause of early miscarriage and also damage to the fetus during development during that first trimester of pregnancy. And an example of this is there was a research study that found that women undergoing IVF had a higher level of BPA in their bodies than women who were able to conceive naturally. So you can see on this slide that it's absolutely a root cause that needs to be addressed to improve fertility and healthy pregnancy outcomes. But let's for a moment really look at the image on this slide. It is my favorite image and probably the most exciting one in this masterclass because it tells the story about how much power you actually have. And I hope when I'm done talking about this, it's really going to give you a lot of hope. So here's the short of it. As women, we're born with all the eggs we're ever going to have, but for most of our lifespan, they're in a dormant state. They're unchanging. And it's only the last 90 days before ovulation, when it's that little egg's next turn in line, it begins to develop really quickly and mature. And it's during this time when you have the most impact on the health of that little egg. And this is the period of time when chromosomal damage occurs. So it's just that last 90 days before ovulation that is when all that DNA expression and development is happening. And unfortunately, DNA damage, chromosomal damage, is the leading cause of early miscarriage. So doing everything that you can during this 90-day period to increase the health of the egg has a large impact on your ability to conceive and also the health of your future baby. The emerging research on how chemical toxicity is linked to infertility is piling up every day. However, this is a subject rarely discussed in your doctor's office. And again, it's just not their wheelhouse, but it is mine. And I've trained and studied in environmental health and toxicity and its impact on reproductive health for the last 8 to 10 years. So it is something that I am super passionate about, and I share a lot of it in my work when I'm working with women during preconception. Okay, so that was a lot. I want you to take a big breath, have a sip of tea or wherever you've got you're drinking right now, and just take a little pause. That was a lot of information all at once. And so I want to just share some examples of conversations that I've had with women recently who've been experiencing infertility. So the first one is a young woman in her 20s with a diagnosis of PCOS who's seeing a fertility specialist for IUI treatments. He told her that she should lose weight to help her fertility and improve her chances to conceive, but she received no other recommendations except to exercise more. Now, she is on medications to help her with her IUI treatments, but she was not given any information about how to manage her blood sugar or reduce hormone disrupting chemicals that are linked to autoimmunity. And PCOS is an autoimmune disease. She was only told that continuing to receive IUI treatments was her best option and that eventually one would work. I think at this point she's had, 3. And in the meantime, her periods are so irregular that it's difficult for her to know when she's ovulating. And her luteal stage is so short that it's difficult, if not impossible, for her uterus to be prepared for implantation of a fertilized egg. So other than the medications to help regulate her cycle, she's not been told what else she could be doing to improve her chances. And then example number 2, this is a woman in her mid-30s and has experienced 7 failed IUIs over the course of about 8 or 9 years. And she's worked with her OBGYN and then switched to a fertility specialist, hoping for a better outcome. And the subject of diet and lifestyle has never come up in any discussions with her doctors. And during it all, she suffered from anxiety and depression. She withdrew from hanging out with her friends and activities that she used to love. And she was just ready to call the whole thing quits. And I'm happy to say that she is currently taking a break from fertility treatments to focus on reducing her stress, taking time for self-care, as well as regaining joy in her life. And she's now in a much better place emotionally and physically, and plans to start working with her fertility specialist again in, this year. And then example 3, this is a woman, 40 years old, and has been trying to conceive for 8 years. She's experienced several early miscarriages. She's spent countless hours researching, trying to figure out what she can do to improve her odds for a successful pregnancy. And she was ready to give up until she discovered that there were things that she could do to improve the quality of her eggs and her husband's sperm before trying again. Okay, so now let's talk about what you've got versus what you want, and shift your journey to have it be a different experience. So right now, you're probably experiencing no recommendations from your healthcare team to help you improve your chances for success, feeling like your life is totally out of control, feeling all alone, helpless, frustrated, and I know sad. And you have this inability to conceive or maintain a pregnancy. So now let's focus on what you would want instead. How could your journey be different? What if you had a step-by-step plan to improve your chances for a successful pregnancy so you don't have to think about what to do and spend all that time researching and trying everything and wanting to take charge of your own fertility instead of feeling helpless? You can feel confident and supported and empowered. And of course, ultimately, you want to have a healthy pregnancy and baby. So I'm guessing that these are all things that you would want to experience in your journey. Okay, so let's recap a little bit those 5 things that you can do that are going to make a real difference in optimizing your fertility. Number 1, focusing on the root causes that I just spoke about: stress, nutrition, and toxins. And instead of hoping that the medical community can fix your problem, you can focus on what's really going on in your body to improve your overall health and fertility. And then number 2, instead of trying to figure things out all on your own, have a step-by-step plan to help you prioritize and know what to do without all the wasted time and guesswork. And number 3, having strategies, tools, and resources to tackle the root causes of infertility. These can include an uncomplicated eating plan to get the nutrition you need to boost your fertility, a self-care plan to reduce and manage your stress and rebalance your hormones, and strategies to reduce your exposure to chemicals in your home environment so you can create a safe, low-tox home, not just for yourself, but also for your future family. Number 4, professional support to get your questions answered instead of relying on Dr. Google and sifting through all the confusing and contradicting information online. And lastly, having accountability and a community of like-minded women who are all on the same journey as you are. I know your infertility journey can feel isolating, and well-meaning friends and family don't always know the right thing to say. So being able to stick with anything is always easier with the support of others. And here's what I want you to know. After talking with women who've been trying to conceive unsuccessfully for years and spending thousands of dollars on fertility treatments that haven't worked, the thing all these women had in common is they never received recommendations from their healthcare team to support and improve their overall health and fertility. And like I said, I'm not faulting their doctors because this just isn't their training or focus, but it's still shocking to me when there's so much research on how fertility can be improved with diet and lifestyle that it's not included in your plans when you're seeing your specialist. All right, so this all leads me to why I created the fertility lifestyle method. So I want to take just a moment to tell you that I created a step-by-step plan that supports fertility by addressing the underlying causes that make it more difficult to conceive. So you can stop doing all the things that haven't worked and just focus on the things that will help you to stack the odds in your favor to conceive. Infertility, like I've said, is a really complex issue, and it's no surprise that infertility rates have been rising worldwide for the last 50 years at the same time that our society has quickly modernized. And that is for all industrialized countries. I touched on it before that sperm rates have been dropping for the last 40 years, and they are 50% lower than they were 40 years ago, which is really quite shocking. So our modern world now bombards us with chronic stress. Our soils and food have become depleted of nutrients, and we're exposed to more chemicals in a single day than your grandparents were in their entire lifetime. And all of these factors are contributing to this global rise in low sperm counts and rising infertility rates. And because of all these factors, you need a proven plan, a method, a step-by-step plan in place that supports your fertility so you can address the underlying causes that are sabotaging your best efforts to conceive. And my passion is to help close this existing healthcare gap and share what your other health providers aren't telling you and provide research-based strategies to help you improve your health and your fertility. So that's why I'm offering you a free 45-minute fertility review call. And this is a call for women who want to be proactive and take action to try a new approach to optimize their fertility and their health. And on this call, we're going to chat, and I'll have some questions for you, and I'll assess where you're at, what you've been doing and trying, and the challenges that you've faced. And then I'm going to help you gain clarity on how your fertility journey and experience can be different. And once I've assessed where you're at, if I think that I can help you and we're a good fit, I'll extend an invitation to work with me in my Fertility Lifestyle Method program. But if that's not in your best interest, I will give you some other suggestions, perhaps some other healthcare practitioners that I think you would be better working with, and resources to help you move forward. So this call is not for you if you're unwilling to take action and make changes on your own to your lifestyle. You're comfortable where you're at and you're looking for a quick fix. But this call is for you if you'd like your fertility journey to be different and learn how you could rid any of these roadblocks from your life that would help you to maximize your efforts to conceive. So there's a link here in the slide that is for you to book a free call. Take a picture of it with your phone and then copy paste it into your browser. And it's going to take you to my appointment calendar. And you'll see two calls there. One is a 15-minute coffee chat. And that's just really a quick little, hi, how are you? Get to know you kind of chat. But this is a free 45-minute fertility review call. This is an assessment where we're really going to dive deeper into what are the underlying causes that could be preventing you from getting pregnant and staying pregnant. So I really hope that you'll book this free call to chat, because regardless if we choose to work together or not, I know that you're going to gain some clarity and you'll have some strategies that you can put into place to move forward with more confidence. So thank you for staying here with me. I'm going to stop screen sharing. Hold on a moment. All right. So hello again. I hope that was helpful. I hope that maybe that there were some aha moments in this masterclass, and maybe it gave you some insights of things that you've been thinking about. Maybe you weren't thinking that they were as important as they are. Stress is a big one. A lot of people say, well, isn't everybody stressed? Well, yes, but not everybody's trying to have a baby. And, there's some amount of stress we're all going to have. Come on, we don't get rid of all of our stress. But there's just so much that you can do to improve your fertility. And it just makes me so sad to see women struggling for so long and not getting answers from their medical providers. And that's why, as a health coach, my focus is nutrition and lifestyle and all of those foundational pieces for health that become even more important when you're trying to conceive. That 90-day preconception window that I showed you in that slide, that is so exciting to me, because it means, you can change things. Your reality can change. It takes 3 months for that little egg to develop. And in that period of time, anything that you're doing either damages that egg or it improves the health of that egg. And so when you know better, you can do better. And it really is a super important time in your life. So book that free fertility lifestyle call, fertility review call. I would put it here in the chat, but I'll just put it in an email to you, and you hopefully took a screenshot of it. Maybe I can put it in there real quick. Hold on a minute. I'll do that before we say goodbye. I just got to go to a different place. All right, let's see. All right, there it is. It's in the chat. I'll stick around for a minute longer, so you can take a picture of it or write it down. And like I said, you'll see 2 ways to schedule. So schedule the 45-minute fertility review call, not the little 15-minute checks. That's really not going to give us enough time to really dive deep. So that's it. I'm glad you were here with me today, and I really look forward to supporting you in any way that I can. So thanks for showing up for yourself. Take care.